Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be starting the epic journey of playing Angels with Scaly Wings. Now in this video you will meet a very special person, and that is going to be GreenTheDragon. Green's channel will be linked down in the description below. Give him some love. I'll also link his Twitch down. But long story short, he gifted me this game and told me that I should play this because it is probably one of the best visual novels and stories he's ever viewed. Yeah, I took his word for it, and here we are. If you do enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, see if your reactions, if you like my voices. I know our voices get a little bit silly here and there. So I've heard. Oh, that's southern. But you know, enjoy the video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye. Alright. I'm gonna start from the beginning. Is that fine with you?
Yep.
The year is 20XX. It sounds
That sounds so extreme.
Only recently has humanity discovered a portal that leads into a different world populated with a race of intelligent, talking dragons.
Ooh.
I was one of the few to travel this world, but maybe I should start at the beginning. It all began when we discovered a strange device in the middle of nowhere during one of our expeditions. A portal.
Setting a portal.
I had heard about similar technology before, though that had been on a more experimental level. From what I knew, other portals had been created in the past and were under consideration for mass application. As for this one in particular, though, we did not know who had built it, nor when, or why we found it in the wilderness where we did. What was more exciting to us was the fact that it was functional. After our first test, we found that there was someone else on the other side who was in possession of a similar portal, and our attempts at communication through letters were successful, but in the end, the machine's extraordinary demand for power meant we needed to act quickly, as we wouldn't be able to keep the portal open much longer. When we made this known to the other side, we received a very unexpected reply. A letter of invitation. After some deliberation, it was decided to accept their hospitality and send a person to the other side. There was an individual who took the job on. Ooh. Was it me?
Almost immediately.
Ooh, it's hot. Shirogami. Reza is queer.
Reza.
Queer. It has queer in it.
Reza is Guardo.
Reza is Guardo. I knew him, or rather, I had known him. We attended the same school back then, and even had a few classes together. We never really were close friends, but we talked to each other occasionally and hung around the same crowd sometimes. However, we still went our separate ways in the end. I wasn't sure to think about the whole thing, but he had to have known what he was doing. He certainly was brave. Either that, or just very, very foolish. While I wasn't sure which, his courage was applauded by others. After all, he couldn't possibly have known who or what would await him at the other end of the portal. And if he did meet someone there, who knew what kinds of intentions they might have? Ooh. Not that any speculation on our part would have made a difference. When the day finally came, through he went, with applause echoing across the area, equipped with only the clothes he wore, his multi-tool, a gun, and a device on his wrist that acted as a PDA. Then we waited. The crowd was applauding him, slowly dispersed when the enthusiasm died down, as there was nothing for us to do but wait and speculate. Approximately 8 hours later, we received our first message from him. While we'd assumed the portal led to another in a different country, or maybe on a different continent, the reality turned out to be much more foreign. The situation he described to us was so outlandish that we initially took it as a joke. A very bad joke, maybe, with even worse timing and no punchline at all. It soon became clear to us, though, that we may have just one of the most important discoveries since the dawn of mankind. Finding the portal has been remarkable in itself, but this took it to a completely different level. From what he described about the place, or more accurately, its inhabitants, we surmise, I never seen that word before,
Surmised.
surmise it could have not be part of Earth at all. We called them dragons. Oh, because according to Reza, that's what they were, or at least what they resembled most. Even though we found it hard to believe, it had been these dragons who sent us all the letters. Wow, they can freaking read and write. English
Yes.
too? English too. And
Yep.
what Reza found on the other side of the portal was a whole civilization of them. They could talk, write books, had buildings and electricity. In many ways, their society was actually very similar to our own. So, who were they? And where was this place? Could they be aliens? Duh. Our speculations led us to conclude otherwise. After all, we knew about the existence of thousands of planets millions of light years away that may have been theoretically habitable. Yet even then, we had never found conclusive proof in regards to actual alien life forms. Some people brought up quantum mechanics and parallel universes, but in the end, all of this was just conjecture and an ultimately fruitless endeavor, since we neither had the means nor the resources to explore these possibilities in greater detail. I think there's just one more thing worth mentioning before I move on. The previous isolation had been mutual. They hadn't known about any other intelligent life form beyond their own. Their portal had only recently been discovered and was technology previously unknown to them. And just as we had missed about dragons, they had missed about us. Ooh, spicy. That was what we knew about them so far. And as interesting as those things and debating their cultural significance was, we didn't really know what we should make of it all. Reza apparently was sure of what he was doing, though, as he eventually let us know that they had agreed on a trade. We were going to give them a few of our PDA devices, which contain vast amounts of knowledge, dwarfing even that of encyclopedias. In return, they would simply supply us with generators. Seems like a fair trade. Overall, they didn't seem as technologically advanced as we had been, and they did surpass us in that one aspect. Their means of generating energy seemed sustainable. Not only that, but evidently also quite efficient. We certainly would be able to point technology like that to good use, and trading more mere past knowledge of the human race for something more tangible was a good call on his part. That is where I came in. Ooh, let's go. My prior experience in both biology and sociology made me the perfect good fit to deliver our PDA devices for the trade. And while in the Dragon's world, waiting for the prototypes or generators to be manufactured by them, I would act as an ambassador on humanity's behalf. What a way to make a good first impression by a display of mutual goodwill. Everyone benefits and everyone goes home happy. All is well. At least, that was the plan. Ooh. Despite the images of that living, talking dragons might conjure up in some people's minds, I'd even think of bringing a weapon myself, considering that they were reportedly friendly and peaceful enough. There was no need for me to fear potential ill intentions like Reza did when he had stepped into unknown territory and acting as humanity's ambassador. I had to do my best to uphold a high standard in fostering this diplomatic relationship. When the time came for me to step through the portal, all my mental preparedness vanished. My anxiousness was fueled by all the questions lurking in my head just as the machine had started to do its work. Would it hurt? Who would meet me on the other side? What if they really weren't so friendly and just made Reza write those letters with the pretense of appearing friendly, only to lure us into the den of man-eating monsters and certain doom, with us ending up as nothing more than tasty afternoon snack? Yikes. Maybe I should have brought a weapon after all. Suddenly shivered okay. A shiver coursing throughout my whole body and beyond when I disintegrated, as if every cell and atom in my body was torn from me and pulled into a different direction. I saw darkness and light, painting patterns in the stars as I traveled, and images rapidly flashed before me of things unseen and unspoken. Both horrifying and beautiful, it was an experience unlike any other. yet over in just a split second. Then it was dark. I can only see a patch of lighter color contrasting with its dark surroundings as my vision started to clear. Its edges got sharper as the patch of light slowly took shape, giving me the distinguished outline of a reptilian head high green and an array of horns sprouting from it. What? Hi.
I am back.
Hi.
Hello. Let me eat as I watch you in amusement.
Huh?
Eat as I watch you in amusement.
Jesus Christ. Okay, there you go. Oh, here we go. Oh, oh,
Oh, oh,
oh, oh,
oh,
oh,
oh.
oh. Oh, that looks like a scientist. It was a dragon. Oh,
Dragon.
oh, no way, dude. I thought that was I thought that was like a wolf or something, dude. That's what I could
Oh,
see. As I could now see, a dragon who not only had a pair of round glasses but also wore a burgundy tie around its neck. Okay, so this
it's Remy.
this is the one you find. Can I even say this on video?
Sure.
Okay, this is the one you find hot. Okay. In the name of our people, wait. So what voice would you give him?
Hmm?
What voice would you?
I'd give him kind of like a nerdy voice.
I can't do nerd voice. Do you want me to just do it?
Yes.
Fine. In the name of our people, I bid you welcome. If I may introduce myself, I am Remy.
You, not that nerdy. It's nerdy. True.
I don't know.
No, like a cute kind of nerdy.
I don't know how to do cute nerd. In the name of our people, I bid you welcome. Like that.
Sure.
If I may introduce myself, I am Remy, your guide and ambassador, a representative of our council. The dragon spoke. It was the it was the one thing to have heard and read about this, but something else entirely to have one standing in front of me in flesh and blood and tongue. Okay, it was good that all my
Why the tongue? Okay.
I know. It was good that all my mental preparedness had disappeared when I
So
was
wait,
teleported.
can you see the similarities between Remy and my dog?
Oh my god. So I'll just pull up a picture of GreenTheDragon right here, somewhere here. It was good to have all my mental preparedness had disappear when it was teleported because nothing could have prepared me for this. Oh my god, I can see the similarities now. It's like the same art style. Sorry, I imagine that. Oh wait, no. Sorry, I imagine you might still feel the effects of the teleportation. Drowsiness or weakness is not unusual, as a fainting and spontaneous emptying of your bowels, bladder, or stomach. How do you feel? Rendered speechless, I had totally forgotten that I was shouldering the burden of representing my people to them as well. So much for being professional, but at least he gave me a good excuse for my blunder. I think I'm alright. Well, the smile. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
So cute.
Maybe we should go before it gets too dark. Come with me, please. So I followed the dragon, not straying too far from him, as the sun had already departed for the day and the remaining light diminished by the minute. Crunch. It's getting hard to see where I'm going. Sorry about that, but we had a good reason to schedule your arrival like this. We did not want you to be ambushed by a crowd, so we had to keep your exact time and date of arrival a secret. Thanks, I suppose an event like this would make me a celebrity of sorts. It would be the same if one of you came to us. That's quite an understatement. Some people here are rather superstitious. They might regard you or any of your kind as divine, I suppose. Really? How so? Oh god, he's gonna eat them. We do have certain myths that involve humans as such. Oh, I suppose the history lesson will have to wait for another time. Here we are. By this point, it had gotten so dark that I could barely make out the building before us. I briefly wondered whether they might have streetlights elsewhere or if they just did not require any due to possible enhanced eyesight or night vision. I could vaguely see the dragon, his light colors still visible within the blackness that engulfed the area, rear up and manipulate the door handle with one of his forepaws. Ooh, ooh. Hinges creaking, the door opened, and with a flick of a switch, the apartment was flooded with
Back.
light. Okay, hi again. Blinding me after all the time we had just spent without it. This is where you'll live for the time being. It is fully stocked, but in case you need anything else, I left you a note with a few phone numbers. It is getting rather late, so I will have to take my leave now. In any case, someone will come and meet you tomorrow morning. Thank you, Remy. Have a good night. Till we meet again. With a nod, Remy left the apartment, mindful enough to close the door behind himself. Surveying the room, I considered the events that had just transpired as my gaze met the window. I could see movement outside, and as I drew nearer, startled, I could hear footsteps in the grass, moving quite quickly. Assuming it must have been the dragon I had just met, I thought nothing of it as I went to bed and slowly succumbed to the sweet allure of sleep overdue. I spent a few moments thinking about my role, my mission, and what it meant to be here now. I felt responsibility placed on my shoulders. Oh,
Ooh. Okay. Choices.
wait, can I go back? Okay. Okay. This is both like the
Feel
sweetest.
responsibility, or are you eager?
Hmm.
What do you feel like would be
I
okay
okay.
responsibility?
Mhm.
Alright,
Because I
alright.
feel like you need to know why you're here, not like, ooh, adventure, yeah.
Oh, true.
Now here I was, a stranger in a strange land, and that as I only began to feel the weight of a burden that lay upon me, the pressure of my tasks and the expectations I would have to meet in representing a species, culture, and civilization. Something would depend on it, yet I did not even know where the only human contact I had currently was. I was alone.
Malone.
Inception. Chapter 1. Ooh. This is nice. I woke up from uneasy dreams looking at an unfamiliar ceiling. Just for a moment, I wondered where I was before the events of last night all came back to me. After a good stretch, I looked around the room illuminated by the sunlight coming in from the window. Outside in the distance, the portal I had emerged from proudly stood on the peak of a small oh yeah, that's not obvious. Getting ready, I noticed something lying on the table. It was a note Remy had left for me in case I needed anything. Along with his own home phone and work number, there were also some numbers for delivery of food or other necessities, as well as emergency and even janitorial services. He had certainly thought of everything, even though I now had to wonder what a dragon plumber might look at. My musings were interrupted when the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, I was met by another dragon. What a surprise! Okay, who is this?
That blush though.
Okay, that's not Bryce.
No.
Okay, I need.
It's about you.
What does he look? What does he seem like? Hello, you must be Glycon. I'm Sebastian, and I'll be your escort or security, I suppose. Usually I work for the police, though. Nice to meet you. He seemed a lot smaller than Remy, but when he seemed somewhat nervously extended his arm. Wait, and when he's. Oh, oops. We don't talk about that. And when he somewhat nervously extended his arm towards me, I noticed he apparently only walked on his hind legs, the two forelimbs instead of having distinct arms, hands, and fingers. Kiss his hand. When I took his hand into mine and shook it gently, I could feel the individual bunts of his scales on his rough skins. Nice to meet you too, Sebastian. So, where are you taking me? Straight to the business, eh? We're going to visit a planet where they are making.
You know what? No, I know what he sounds like now.
What?
Since he said A, he sounds more like like the father son kind of sport figure. He's like,
Oh, straight to the business, eh? Like that.
yeah.
Okay, straight to the business, eh? We're going to visit a planet where they are making your generators. They have some news for you, or so I've heard. Oh, that's Southern.
Your voice is so funny. God.
Reza will be there too. I don't know.
Is it like your old Southern accent just come back?
I'm not Southern at all. I'm just good at voices, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Like I can do an Indian scammer.
We'll just stick with it.
Sounds great. Just follow me. While we walked, oh god, another wall of text. While we walked, I was under the impression we were purposely avoiding the busier parts of town, instead straying towards the edges and small alleys as not to garner too much attention. Well, obviously there's a human. I mean, come on. Like, what if there's a dirt just freaking walking around? Even then, we got an occasional stare. Although, after 4 minutes, we arrived at our destination where we were met by Reza, as well as yet another dragon, a vicious-looking beast that didn't stay too close to him. Let's see how vicious. I feel like this is Bryce.
Not Bryce. I'll tell you that much.
Damn it. Dude, I'm still waiting for fucking Bryce because you said I would like him.
You will.
Reza, hey. Wait, no. He seems like a douchebag.
Just play the game.
Huh?
Just play the game.
Oh my goodness, he a douche. Hey.
Like all your other boyfriends.
Oh my god, he looks like one of my exes. No, he just looks like a douchebag. You know, the jeans.
Wait,
Okay.
play him to like sound like one of your.
Hey, Reza, long time no see. How true that is. Good to finally see another human face around here. What a coincidence to have you, of all people, show up. Yeah, I guess those degrees aren't so useless after all. By the way, who's your friend? Just my bodyguard, same as yours. Don't bother with him. Why don't we make him sound gay?
I don't know.
Is he gay? Hopefully.
No.
Damn it. Just my bodyguard, same as yours. Don't bother with him. He doesn't talk much.
Just like you.
Win a fight with Remy.
I like those.
Very fun. He just like. Ooh, ouch. You heard that, did you?
Yes.
That actually throw. The two dragons exchanged a few words as I met the gaze of a larger. Do you know how to pronounce this? Tenebrous?
I don't know how to
I don't
pronounce
want
that.
I don't want to butcher this. Tenebrous dragon. A few paces from us, Sebastian turned towards me and spoke up again. Okay, whatever. Hey, Lycon, this is Maverick. Nice to meet you. Oh yes, I know how to give this voice. Yeah, whatever. Just don't expect me to give you any special treatment like everyone else, and we'll be good. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
What are you talking about? So you're saying you haven't noticed the stairs and how they all treat you like you're the next messiah or something? No, I just thought... Wait. We're not the ones making the big deal of this. You are. We're just here to... Wow, he's a douche.
Is he Majira? Is it just Majira now?
It's just Majira. We're just here to get what we agreed on, then we'll be gone. If anything, I'd actually prefer you left this alone. But you're the one who insists on following me wherever I go. He does something with Jira. Hot. I'm gonna cut that out. A growl just escaped the darker dragon's trembling lips as he bared his teeth at Reza. Alright, that's quite enough. Let's just all go inside, shall we? After you. Dude, Reza seems like a douchebag.
It is.
The crisis was quickly averted as we entered the building, which was characterized by its many floors, high ceilings, and long, narrow hallways as Sebastian led us to our destination.
it's
It's
Anna.
It's the Cothrix thumbnail. Dirk.
Yes.
Question mark, question mark, question mark. Wait, it's a girl, right?
Yes.
There you are. Wait, no, that sounds like Remy. Fuck. I can't do girls.
Just do a gay voice.
There you are.
No. Just do a really feminine voice.
There you are. I was waiting for you. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, of course they had to do a full freaking ski scene for this. Okay. Wait a minute. I thought we were going to meet the guys from the production. What are you doing here? They're only coming in later today, so you'll just have to make do with me. I see. Well, Glycon, this is Anna. She manages this building, though actually she's more involved in the research wing rather than production and engineering. Nice to meet you. My pleasure. I have something for you, by the way. It'll take them a while to make all the generators we promised, but we've got one for you here. Feel free to send it home and give it a test. That's great. I'll take it. looks a little small if you ask me. Don't underestimate its power. Oh, and do be careful not to drop it. Sure. I'll be waiting outside while you do your thing, Glycon.
Dude, she couldn't even say thank you. It's like, okay.
I suppose I'll wait for you outside of Lego. Oh god, that was so southern. What thing? Oh, have you brought the PDA? Of course, here you go. Alright, now let's give this thing a test. The PDA lit up as her hand swiftly moved around its interface in calculated motions. By the way, would you consider letting me run some tests on you as well? It would only take a drop of your blood. What? Why? I work in biology, so obviously this kind of thing would be very interesting to us. I'd share the results with you, of course.
Giving random people your blood, huh?
If it's like the opposite, right? Great! She was quick to produce a small device from a drawer, which, from the glance, reminded me a lot like a test tube. Why is she blushing? Now, if you would please give me your hand, please. As I reached out to her, she took my hand into hers before she pressed the device into the back of my hand. I winced as pain jolted through my hand. Something sharp drove itself through my skin, and shortly afterwards, a drop of blood was sucked into the tube attached to a small needle. Thanks. You're welcome? It's an achievement. You gave Anna your blood. Wait, no. Yeah. I know. I have to give the system a proper name. Oh wait, no, that's achievement. Whatever, I have something for next time. Looks like your PDA is good. By the way... Oh wait, looks like your PDA is good, by the way. So we're just about done here. And since we're both in biology, it could be interesting if you can meet me... If you want to meet me some other time as well. Here's my number. Alright. See you soon. Well, that was interesting. Did she ask for your blood too? Yeah. Did you give it to her? Oh, well, it's your choice. You've got no idea what they might do with it, though. I'm getting hungry. How about some breakfast? I'm all for it. I can't stand early mornings like these. That shouldn't be a problem. There's a cafe not far from here. What do you say, Mavers? Is it Mavers or Mavers?
I don't know.
Mavers.
Maybe.
Oh, it's Mavers. I'm guessing it's Mavers. I wouldn't mind to grab a bite myself. That settles it then. Luckily for us, the cafe was mostly empty when we arrived, as it was still pretty early in the day. Reza was quick to lead me to a table for two, prompting the dragons to get one on their own at the other side of the restaurant. Ugh, finally. I can't stand that guy being on my tail all the damn time. Question mark, tail?
Okay.
Is this hinting to something?
I don't think so.
Oh. Is he secretly a Turk? No.
This is.
No drama to do.
Which one did you do?
I did the maybe he likes you a lot.
Dot.
It's
Just like boy.
He just. We were approached by the individual who appeared to be the waitress at the cafe. She was an interesting-looking dragon who, unlike the others I had seen so far, who were more akin to a wyvern, possessing two rather large wings at her forelimbs, which resembled those of an oversized bat.
Adine.
Don't tell me the names.
Oh.
Okay. It's a girl, so. Oh, it's the humans. Is that a good one?
Yes.
That sounds asshole-ish. That sounds sarcastic. I don't like any of these.
I feel like it must be funny.
Okay. Okay. That's a good one. Welcome. Oh, it's Adine. Welcome to our establishment.
Adine.
My name is Adine, and I'll be your waitress today.
It's Adine.
It's Adine. They don't have the pronunciation. I'll be your waitress today. What can I bring you to? Today's special. Yeah, me too. Just make it quick. Sure thing. 2 specials coming right up. I feel like that's too high. Okay. As I was saying, if you look at the big picture, don't you think there's just something off about this whole place? Where is it really? If this is supposed to be a completely separate place from Earth, or even a different dimension, some things just don't add up. Don't you think so too? I've been here much longer than you have been. Maybe you'll see soon enough. I can't really say much more, but you know who over there. He's probably listening to us right now. Come on. I'm thinking I'm like Maverick. When I let my gaze wander, I saw that Maverick was looking in my direction. Wait, no, I'm speaking his voice shit. Our eyes met briefly, his expression not showing any discernible emotion. Well, I wondered whether it had been coincidence or if he really was able to hear us from that distance. I do have some theories. If I'm right, we might be in trouble. What kind of trouble? What are you talking about? Shh! Be quiet. I'll let you know more as soon as I can. But for now, let's just play along. After all, we already have one of these babies. He patted the generator's box for emphasis. God knows we need them. Oh, there she comes. The female returned, astounding me with her ability to balance dishes on the edges of her wings. She placed her forelimb on the table and proceeded to move the dishes from her wing to us with a gentle push of her stem. There you go! Watch out! It's hot!
That's so mean.
That's so mean. You're welcome! Apparently today's special consisted of an odd-looking fish of some sort. I was a little hesitant to try it, but considering the steam coming from it, it was probably better to wait a few minutes anyway. Hold on, I'm gonna do something real quickly. It'll take 5 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Apparently today's special consists of an odd-looking fish of some sort. I was a little hesitant to try it, but considering the steam coming from it, it was probably better to wait a few minutes anyway. When the waitress brought out the meals to the two dragons across the cafe and exchanged a few words with them, Reza leaned toward and whispered something to me. I'll send you a letter with a coded message later. You'll know what to do. Reza rose from the seat before he made it known to me that he still had a few other things to do and left the restaurant, followed shortly after by the larger of the two dragons. He just freaking darts out. But you haven't touched your fish. I wasn't in a hurry, so I spent a few more minutes in contemplation while I looked out the window. Not that this whole situation was very bizarre enough. There was also now the vague sense of danger conveyed by Rez's earlier words. I did not even have an idea of what kind of threat might be lurking out there. Eventually, I took a bite of my somewhat unusual breakfast. While I usually thought the smell was quite peculiar, the taste had been even worse. I imagined it might be the kind of delicacy that had an acquired taste, one that I certainly hadn't acquired yet. I decided to get outside before it was too late. Dude, imagine if it poisoned him or something.
Yeah, like, how would you know?
Yeah. Are you done? I just had to do that one in Southern. I'm so sorry. Sure am. How'd you like it? I'll say it's probably not for me. And you wouldn't be the only one to say that. You better wait outside just in case it decides to come up again. You tried the odd-looking fish. Sure thing. That's the system voice, there you go. This is beautiful. I stepped outside, taking the scenery of this strangely familiar world.